Hey peeps, welcome back to the newest episode of Just Ask the GOAT with yours truly, Neira the GOAT. If this is your first time listening, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoy the podcast. If you're a returning guest, what's down, cousin? I'm so happy that you're back. Let's get into this week's episode.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited because you are actually my first guest on the Just Ask the Go podcast.
What?
Yeah. So,
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen, to all my ladies to the left, if your lungs
I'm
got breath.
yeah, I'm gonna say that, and I'm instead of saying lovers, I'm gonna say specifically to the ladies, all the ladies on the left. If your lungs got breath, can you help me say?
Magnolia. Welcome to the Just Ask the Go podcast. I have my cousin and one of my favorite rappers, Crucial.
His eye, whoop whoop. What's up,
What's
cousin?
up, cousin? It's so good to have you on the podcast.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. You
Yeah,
know, blessed and highly favored.
you heard me. As you guys know, Crucial was actually featured as the GOAT Artist of the Month last month in April, where we gave a little clip to his newest single, Magnolia Bouquet, featuring Kitty Black.
Whoop, whoop.
And we now have him here. Yeah, but tell us a little bit about yourself and what was Young Crucial like creatively? Because I have my experience of you as family, but I would like for you to tell us about you as a young buck.
I think creatively, I've always tried to exist in my own world, which kind of made it a little difficult to exist in the regular world. I was trying to create my own on top of it. And I think with age comes an understanding of harmony and how to let the things coexist with each other. Multiple layers on the living lasagna, if it makes sense.
It
Yeah.
does.
So I think I've always been maneuvering through my creative universe, trying to figure out what planet I want to stay on for any period of time because they're all kind of interwoven into who I am as a person and who my family has been. So there's always been an element of fashion just because of how my daddy is. He's a man from the South who plays jazz music and is also in and out church. The church niggas like to keep a certain little steez about them. So there's personality from that. It's also a musician. My mother's also a reader and a writer, and she's bilingual and all of these wonderful things. So it was always so many different forms of information being processed by me as a youth, and I was trying to figure out what to hold on to, what to let influence me, what comes from other influences, and just trying to understand how to see through the veil. So I guess it's always been intersection of music and technology and fashion and collaboration with other people. I feel like I'm kind of still doing what I was doing when I was in like high school and middle school. I was making belt buckles out of video game controllers, and I was like duct taping my G knives and cutting out certain parts so they look like like custom 101 things that I can see like reproduced through thought and ideas now to where it's like people are integrating those things yet again. So it's interesting, and even musically, I've been collaborative for a very long period of time. So I was making music with my homies in high school, and now I'm making music with my homies who are professional music makers.
That's so cool. I was thinking back on like my experience, I guess, of you making music, getting into it more professionally. Because I'll say you've always had a professionalism about you. But I never forget. I don't know if you remember this. I think I came home from college. And it was like me and you. I feel like it might have been Jasmine, my sister, but I feel like we were smoking in like Lancelot or something. And this was during college. I was home visiting, but I think this was around the time that you had a feature on Coop's thematic session, Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Yep.
Uh, and that was
Shout
like
out to
my
Cooper.
yeah, shout out to Coop. That was my first time like hearing you rap for real because you're a little younger than me. So I don't believe that I had heard anything that you had put out prior to that. And I was just like so impressed then. And I've been a fan ever since.
Ain't gonna lie.
Huh?
Listen, knowing what that verse is now, because I still remember that verse. That was my first verse where I was like, "Ooh, this a bit. This is an adult. This is something. It's a piece. I'm not just rapping. This is a piece of something." I was like, "Oh, okay. I feel good when I make this." Because sometimes you make things and it feels like they cool, but that was one of those times where I was like, "All right, I'm the youngest person in here, and I ate this, and I'm in Holly Grove, and I'm just getting my name because that's when I got my name was I was in the studio with Coop. That's when I became Crucial.
Wow, that's so cool. I didn't know that.
He kept going, yo, that shit was Crucial, dog.
That's what's up. That's so cool. That's so cool to hear that story. You did mention your dad a little bit, and as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, we come from a very musically inclined family.
We do.
Um, we are the great grandchildren of James Powell Sr. Crucial and I's grandmothers are sisters. Well, we're sisters. They've both gone on to glory. But Crucial side of the family with his grandmother and grandfather, they're known as the Gullages in New Orleans. And so if you are from the New Orleans, Southeast Louisiana, surrounding areas, you know a gullage. Because first of all, it's 50 lamb.
Listen, we was
About 50
fruitful.
lamb churn.
We was fruitful and multiplying. Bad at math, but we was multiplying.
There are many preachers and singers and musicians, and I mean, it is such a beautiful thing to be an extension of that side of the family. Tell me about, I guess, finding your voice. I actually spoke about this not in the podcast, but in a previous YouTube video about me finding my voice as a writer. What do you think the journey has been like for you finding your voice as an artist, especially coming from a musically inclined family and being a rapper while everybody else is either singing the blues or doing jazz or singing gospel? How
Yeah.
do you tell me about that journey for you and what it was like, I guess, discovering it, and what do you feel like it's like now?
I feel like it's one of those. It's a lived and living experience. So even right now, I continue to find my voice as I get slightly older than I was before. So I think in the beginning, my voice was influenced a lot by what I was hearing. So like most young black boys in the South, I was trying to rap like Wayne. I was just going off of what I heard, or trying to rap like Jay-Z, or just trying to be what I thought was already the right version of what it means to have a voice. So
Mm-hmm.
during that time, while at the same time being can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
While at the same time being a product of the type of creative household that grooms excellence. So it's like I can hear you not sounding like nobody. I can hear you sounding like everybody else, and it won't matter until you sound like yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
so that kind of shaped it into a different journey where even right now I'm back taking vocal lessons just to try to strengthen the voice that I did find because I feel like you never stop growing or getting better at what you're doing as long as you understand that you can get better. So after a while, I was like, okay, these punchlines is cool, but I know I'm smart enough to write poems, and I have a large enough vocabulary to implore it, like no, to apply it to what I'm using right now to express myself. So then I was like, okay, let me write for real and just stop trying to make things that I feel like people would like. It's not about what people would like. It's about the excellence of self-expression. And from that, I hope the information and the messages are delivered in a way where they can be understood. And if not, fuck them.
It's not fuck 'em. I feel like I really enjoy listening to your music, not just because you are my cousin, but I think that you, like you said, it reminds me of poetry. I think when I listen to you, it reminds me of why I even felt, this sounds so corny, but like why I fell in love with hip hop. Growing up in the 90s and being influenced in the South by Lil Wayne, but also like growing up listening to Jay-Z, and you have those influences of some of the older rappers like Cool in the Gang.
Cool in the game. Yep, Sugar Hill.
You
Pulling
know,
it
it's
from
like or even what's
DMC.
his name? Run DMC, what's his name? Dougie Fresh. You know,
He's
you
fresh.
listen, you we grew up listening or seeing those older music videos, and so it kind of primed me to be a listener. I was always a reader, but it primed me to be a listener. And then you, especially when you get into people like Outkast and stuff like that, I'm a big Outkast fan. And so when I'm listening to a new rapper, a new artist, I'm listening for what they're saying. How do you manage being in an industry where they're because I don't want to categorize you as like a conscious rapper. I don't want to do that, but I do feel like you're a modern poet. And how do you feel being in an industry where you have people that are looking for something to listen to, or people that are just looking for the next the next beat, the next trend? How do you creatively stand your ground in the midst of all of these
I feel
options?
like by standing.
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that even if I'm not in a place where people are looking for a certain thing, because of the world I've learned how to create that exists on top of every world. It's like it don't matter if you like bounce music, you're gonna hear me probably with somebody. If you like soul music, then you're probably gonna hear me with somebody. If you like funk, if you like real music that's being made, most other people who create music at some point or another cross the bridge of understanding what it is when it comes to me, and then they figure out that, oh, you can do anything you want. Somebody called me today and he was like, you really well, you can do whatever you want and it's gonna work. And I love the way you just keep going and you really don't let nobody tell you nothing, and you only rock with what you rocking with, and you're not trying to be nobody else. So I think that's what it is. It's like when you stand out, you have to stand. Like you have to still be present. You got to be unmoved by
Mhm.
what it is. If you put me on a song, I'm on the song. I don't become the song. I'll probably do something to the effect of where it's like it's gonna stand out anytime I do. And I think that's what he used. That's what we was raised to listen to. We used to listen to Andre 3000. The Andre 3000 feature verse changes the energy in the song because now somebody is here who wants me to listen, and I'm going to listen. And
Mhm.
that's how I feel like even if I'm on a song with Diesel, if I'm on a song with Waterseed, if I'm on a song with Pell, if I'm on a song with anybody, it's like you're gonna listen to what I'm saying because of how I'm saying it, and that's what the
Mhm.
world is. That's just painting that picture. I infuse the everything when it comes down to certain things. Like my lived experience, there's gonna be a whole lot of Southern colloquialisms and a whole lot of New Orleans slang in there. I don't have to talk like I'm from LA, even though I know their words and I've lived out there. I don't have to talk from Atlanta or New York just because I've been in those places. But understanding where I am and where I come from, even learning the art of using language a certain way. It's like you're not just supposed to sound like you're from a place unless you would like to, and then that by all means do your thing. But I feel like I sound like I've been places a couple of times, and I sound like I'm open, like I have an open mind. Not saying that heavy dialects or things like that aren't the same, but it's my mom is from Chicago, my dad is from here, but he's been traveling his whole life. So I've been hearing people speak all kinds of languages, and I've been, um, required to show my grasp of the language, not my basic understandings of communication. So it's like say what you have to say, but if I don't know you know how to say what really needs to be said, it will never matter what you're saying.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think within that, I can thoroughly explain what I mean. And that just made me a better creator, made me a better writer, made me a better communicator.
Mhm.
And it just takes a little more time, but I feel like that's a sport that everybody is designed to play.
hmm
This
No,
is
I understand what you're saying because I think something that I have struggled with, and I came to this realization in my creative writing class was my teacher asked us to figure out or to put our writing portfolios together either by genre or a specific voice. And I'm like, I think I have a unique voice, but I don't really even know how to describe that. And in my discovery of that, I realized that was still in a way like putting my writing up against these white standards. And I mean that with all due respect and disrespect, but like putting myself up against writing a certain way because that has what has always been expected of us, like in writing classes. But I had like the realization a couple of weeks ago, like, motherfucker, you've been writing on your own for the last about 6 years now. And when I think about everything from the podcast to my email marketing, how I choose to tell stories, there is a very unique voice that's true to my lived experiences. And I think there is a beautiful, it's a beautiful realization that happens when when you realize that who you are, how you learn, how you choose to speak or share your art is enough. Those layered experiences that make you who you are, that make Crucial who he is
Mhm.
more than enough. And that is the thing that helps you to keep standing and to stand apart from everybody else in the midst of it.
Nope, that's my favorite part. Because I used to, because when you get into the business of music, they ask you that, like, who are you? What's your voice? And some
Hmm.
people, I feel like, they're like, oh, you fit on this playlist with this person. Sometimes I'm like, yo, I have no place. I have like no place that I didn't create. If I'm somewhere, it's because I built excuse me, I built a place for me there. I think that's why I relate to currency a lot because it's like you're around a whole lot of stuff that just doesn't have the equipment to support what you are. So it's
Hmm.
like you have to constantly create your own and then choose to kind of only exist there because you know that's the best place for you. Is the best place for me to live is my world. So
Hmm.
it's like trying to I don't know understand what all of that means.
Have you ever struggled with doubt in creating your own world? Because it is kind of, it can be lonely or feeling, like the ground is shifting beneath your feet at times.
Oh, when it's not working, but then I consider the circumstances,
Hmm.
or when I think it's not working, because it's never not working, or I wouldn't be. So it's like the feelings that I feel from it aren't just because I'm who I am; it's because of where I am and the whole thing. So it's like you live in New Orleans. Like we're less than a lot of things, especially the ability to survive as artists here. And the fact that I found some kind of way to make it happen is a feat in itself because it's like, especially independently. So it's like I don't know. It's like I'm not doubtful. Financial insecurity evokes fear. So it's like that's the only thing. But then I think about the fact that I can't really be mad if I just did Jazz Fest. I can't really be like upset if my face was on an actual billboard downtown, like in the middle of downtown and uptown. It don't matter which way you're going. Like it's right there off the I-10. And even months before that, it was on the other side of the bridge in the place I grew up in Algiers. So it's like the doubt never lasts that long. I feel like God doesn't allow me that. Like I'm not even allowed to be miserable for that long, which kind of makes it nerve wracking. Because then it's like I know something's coming. I don't know when it's coming, but the pattern recognition in my mind is telling me that something always comes. So you
Hmm.
kind of just know that this is it. Even if it's not today, something big is coming. You just got to be patient and apply your intelligence to figure out how you're going to survive till you get to the next thing. Something so that's like shit, like an Uber. It you know how to have passive conversations with people and you're a good driver and you have a working car. Get in the car and make the car make some money. You can do that. That ain't no different from Gary Vee saying sell all the extra shit you got in your house. You just have to know to apply it and you can't wait for somebody else to apply it for you. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine about that because it's like sometimes you sit there knowing that you're in a position where you need to move, and the knowing that you need to move makes it harder for you to move your feet. But if you don't move your feet, you're not going to eat. And sometimes you choose to be hungry, and
Hmm.
it's unfortunate when you are choosing to be hungry.
Right. Because there's always a way. There's always a way. I'd like you to talk a little bit more about your staying power and staying the course as a creative and as a rapper. And you're not just a rapper, you're an engineer, you do a producer, you've done so many different amazing things. And you've been doing this since you were in high school. So what advice do you have to give to anybody that's up and coming or any artist that is possibly been doing this for a while, but feels like they're in a little bit of a struggle season.
Doing things with and for other people with no intention of reciprocation has always provided me with a feeling of value. Because even if I'm not working on my stuff, the stuff I'm working on for other people gets just as many blessings. It's just the same type of blessings that fall on me. I like it rolls into these other things. So if I'm constantly working with other people, we all eat. And then one day you chilling and somebody telling you something that you forgot you even helped them with, help them out. And it's like, you know what? I knew there was a reason that I'm here. Like even if it's not for me today, it's for them today, and I can be of service. So I feel like anybody who is, when you feeling low, just continue to do for others and understand the difference between doing for others with no like intention of reciprocation, just hold like genuinely giving and I understand the difference between those and offerings, but it's like, man, if my homie wants to record an album and I know he's serious about music and I'm serious about music, and we bring up these ideas and they get executed in real time, that's when, yeah, come on, I'll record you. Like, we can knock this shit out. And that's what I'm doing with somebody. It's like I'm executive producing a project for him that doesn't feel like I'm doing work because it's out of a genuine relationship we have. And then whatever blessings come from that are still built off of an organic, genuine thing that we started. So the thing that I'm talking about, we filmed it at Dillard of like one of the first singles for his new project. And I was just sitting there watching. I was like, we really came up with this shit and recorded it in my kitchen. And now we're in Dillard right now filming it. That's crazy. But then I'm like, okay, that's the reality. I'm looking forward right now. And I see a Couches flyer. I see a Gambit cover with me and the homies. I see my own Gambit cover. I see a vinyl album that I dropped. I see pictures from parties. I see pictures from, excuse me, performances. I see two pictures that Polo Silk took over there. And I still have two right here with me at the Magnolia reunion. I ain't even from the Magnolia. I'm in there with kids, but it's like these things to tell, even from working with people like Kitty, she'll be like, I love everything you're doing. She was like, I remember the first time I saw you. It was at Jazz Fest and you was performing. I was like, who are these people? I would never think that anybody who's watching me actually gives a shit, but some people are really watching and care. Even if they don't share your shit every day, they care and you have impacted them.
Mm,
And I started this before the internet was what mattered to people. The only thing that mattered was who you were willing to know and who knew you and how they treated you when they knew you. So
mm.
it's like my phone worked. Like my phone worked. People call me and let me know what it is all the time. So I feel like you just got to build that world and allow other people in it.
You have done such a wonderful job over the years of collaborating with others. If you guys don't know, you should check out Global Warming, which is the collective of artists from New Orleans that K3wcial is a part of. 504 is one of their songs from their last project. They performed that at the Pelicans game. I personally believe it should be New Orleans anthem.
Listen,
It is so beautifully put together, but let's talk a little bit about collaboration and who has been like your top person that you've collaborated with, or maybe like your most unexpected collaboration that you've done so far?
I don't know. I feel like everybody I've been working with, we orbit each other for long enough to where we have a relationship. So even with Global, I was making music with a whole bunch of people I already have creative relationships with. Even if it's just about critiquing. Like sometimes my homie Jacques Francois, sometimes he'll just send me what he painting while he's in the middle of painting it with nothing other but what you think of this. We don't have to talk about politics, music, nothing. We don't have to talk about nothing. We're not talking about shooting the shit or working on nothing. No, what do you think of this? And I'll send him some music. He'll be like, but thank you. Like, and that's all I think it is. That's where you find your peers at. It's just say, I'm gonna send you this and tell me what you think of it, or don't. Just have it, so I know somebody who appreciates music can listen to this. Some people are listening and they tell you what they like about every song. Some people will skim through it and just they'll be there for it too and wait for the moment to be moved. But everybody has their own way of doing it, and I feel like that's the community I'm glad I exist in. And from that, we create different things. We make stuff together. We influence each other and it feels underground in that sense of it. But I feel like with creatives and contemporaries and peers, like y'all all see each other. Y'all gonna be on the same basketball court because everybody's shooting.
Hmm.
So I guess my most unexpected was probably Tracy. Tracy Desai, because she's from France.
Hmm.
Like, so it's like I met her through a person I met through Watersea
Hmm.
while we was in New York. Like, so doing a residency. So it's just like crazy that I can do music with people that span across the world. I mean, I'm tested now because that
Yeah,
thing, you just got to see if it work all over the place. And it works all over the place. Now you can just go.
I love that. And actually, you and Tracy do have a great collaboration. Shout out to Tracy.
Yes.
Um,
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Tracy.
Uh,
Back to what you were saying about like being around other creatives and creating this world. A couple of weeks ago, Pell had his show at Saint Noir Cafe. Shout out to Pell and shout out to Saint Noir. But my friend Delisa came to the show with me, and she just was so blown away by she said, I feel like I'm not even in New Orleans. And I was explaining to her, like, I know Pell through you, but I'm like, yeah, that when you are connected to creatives and artistic people, there is an entire other world that exists that most people don't even realize that they could also be a part of too. With that being said, I want to get into all of your new shit that you got going on.
What's that cool shit?
And I also want to talk about your Jazz Fest performance. You got to perform at Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
Your first solo set, right?
What's that?
How
Yeah.
did that go?
It was great. We are amazing as a band. And I know that. So it's just that part of it is becoming easy to the point to where I forget to appreciate it. So I'm reappreciating it as I watch the footage back. Because when I was on stage, I was just like, "Yeah, this is what we better be good." We rehearsed that. We've been practicing this, and it's not a back and forth game. We just got to be good. And
Uh-huh.
it was good, and they loved it. We ran into a little timing issue, but I feel like anybody who's played a festival knows that just comes with festival shit sometimes. Like sometimes they run late, sometimes it takes long. But we was able to make happen what we needed to make happen. So that was good. It was a blessing. I had a good time. My mom was there, my family was there, the band was on. Listen. And it's Jazz Fest. So it's like it's I think one of the best parts about it is I didn't feel they didn't treat me. I wasn't in Jazz Fest like a local. I wasn't on Congo. I
Mm,
wasn't on the rap stage. I was in
mhm.
a tent. I was inside. I actually went on at the same time the headliners went on.
That's
So it's like I got the big block. I got like, yeah, it was just me. And I feel like sometimes that's where it gets isolated. That's where I feel the loneliest when I'm like, I'm doing some shit ain't nobody did.
I know. I was actually about to say, I would think that a moment like that, and maybe because, two things can be true at the same time. But I was going to say, does a moment like that just kind of reaffirm all of the hard work and dedication that you've done, even though it can feel lonely or isolating?
It does, and it shows me that the work that I'm doing might echo uncharted territory sometimes. But the people I make the most music with, which is probably Pell, that's how I see what he's doing. A lot of the places, he might be the only black person there. He might be the only American there sometimes. Like, but that's just the level of what it means to execute. It's just like It's not that everybody can't come. This is your journey, and the skills you have are required in certain places. So
Mhm.
it's like you just get to go there and do it. So, like, yeah, Rhythm Porium tent. It was fun. It was cool. It didn't rain too much that day. And we was inside. We didn't get canceled. Some people's performances got canceled because of the rain.
Right,
When I
right.
started listening to the good things that happened, it's like people was there. We got footage. We did great. We paid everybody. Like it worked. It worked. It worked.
Yep. As you continue to grow and develop your brand, your voice, like you say, you've been working with the band. How do you manage all of these additional new responsibilities that come on to you? Because you and I have had conversations prior about how sometimes people just want to be the artist, but we forget that our artistry is also to make us money. And so there's an entire other world of business that a lot of the times people can neglect or they don't really want to lean into. So how have you been balancing the evolution of your business and your brand as an artist?
I'm just trying to be smart about it. It's like playing Grand Theft Auto. You can't only run people over. You have to play the game a certain way if you want to win. Or you can just play and run people over. Like you can spin your own wheels and never progress. Progression isn't required. Like you can do the same thing over and over again if you that's how you want to play the game. I feel like once the intelligence that I have started to, like it never removes itself from my creativity. So it's about the fact that this is all a business. Everything you like about it, the fact that you're even exposed to it is because of an acknowledgement of the business. So to exist in it and one to not have an understanding of the business makes you like now you're hobby. You're just doing a hobby. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like it don't make sense to do hobbies if I meet real life people. Like if I can produce songs with Beethoven and record people like Young Boy, it don't make sense for this to be a hobby no more. These are some of the biggest people in music that I've had the pleasure of working with. Um, so it's just I don't know. It's a long term commitment, and that's why I'm understanding what if the hardest thing to do at this point is be a real life patient and not the patience you want to have. Like, can you keep going while you become what you're becoming, or are you gonna burn out because the microwave ain't go off yet, and
Mm-hmm.
now your food's still cold in the middle? A
Mm-hmm.
couple of them pops might make you think, hey, it's done. It was popping. No, that was just some pops. That was just the water escaping. That was it. If
Mm-hmm.
you really wanna heat this thing up, it might take you a second. So it's like if God told you you can have everything you want, and you're like, all right, what I gotta do? And he's like, just wait. For till when? At that. Yeah. So
When did Magnolia Bouquet come out? Was that a couple of months ago?
February 14th, Valentine's.
Oh yeah, Valentine's Day. That's right. That's right. And so from there, you have the remix with Black from Magnolia Bouquet, and you guys
Wow.
are just getting ready to release on the 17th, right? The bounce version.
The bounce version, yep, by Twig and Twiggity. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about that collaboration, and also if we could squeeze it in, what you have coming down the pipeline.
Okay. That collaboration started from a song that I had been sitting on for 2 years, and I had the understanding that when I show people music 2 years ago, I'd be showing people the future 2 years from when I show it to you. So the same happened with 504. I was showing people that song 2 years before it came out because that's when I made it. But with this one, I was like, all right, let me put it out. One of the people who is the producer on the song, Ryan Batiste, Shagadelic, he's one of the features on the original version. So it's me and Shag on it, and then Shag and Samwise, they produced it together. And then my homie Kronos mixed it. And I got Kirsten Theodore, my saxophone player, to come lead sax at my house. So all of that, excuse me, is live recorded and stuff. So I took that and I was like, this is fire. We posted it, got a lot of love. And then somebody was like, I hear Kitty Black on this because you know Magnolia people love the Magnolia. They just
Uh-huh.
like people like repping where they're from because it's attached to the pride they have in their identity, and that is a strong, necessary thing to have for survival. You got to know who you are and where you're from. It doesn't define you, but it's important to know. So we did that. Kitty, that's when I heard from Kitty. She was like, "Yeah, I'm about getting on it." So it was easy. I called her to the studio. We went by Roz. She recorded her verse, sat down, wrote the whole thing. Me and Cronus was in there, recorded it, and then got it done. And then I was like, all right, this is cool. I enjoy this. But I had already told myself if I get Keezy to do it, I got to do a bounce version. And I love the idea of sampling myself as opposed to trying to sample a popular song to make a bounce song. I would make a popular song and then make a bounce song out of it.
I
And
love
I
it.
just like, I don't know, this feels more healthy as far as how to create something.
Yeah.
So from that, brought in a whole bunch of people. Keon, the sweetest berry, she did the design on the graphic work. I got Izzy, Cool and Brown. She did the creative direction for the shoot, and I just tried to get all my homegirls, all the black women I could to, come touch the creativity and add what they could add, so we could all make something nice together. And now we came out with the bounce version. Video is done, shot by my bro Cray, and edited by Ron C of Private Billions. So everything is fine. We even got Polo Silk in there. you know?
You heard me.
Yeah.
Shout out to Polo. If there is anything that you would like to leave the listeners with, what would you have to say, Crucial?
If you're looking for me or my music, go to www.ikr3wcial.com. iCrucial.com is constantly updated with new merch, new videos, new music, new everything having to do or pertaining with the artist currently known as Crucial.
Crucial.
So, yep, always got shows posted on there. I hope to see whoever's listening at the next show. I hope the music does something special for you and helps you with whatever you need help with. If you're looking for me, reach out to me. I ain't hard to find because I keep it low to the ground. Understand?
You heard me. And I know we don't have that much time left, but I also want to say if you guys haven't already, go to Peaches Records and Tapes and give my cousin Crucial's vinyl that he has. This is music
I,
that is
it's
only on the vinyl.
collector's edition, baby. We going direct to consumer.
Uh,
Whatever you need, you know
yes,
that.
yes, that's beautiful. Well, it's been such a pleasure having you here. I'm sure this won't be the
Yeah.
last time. And I love you so much. Thank you for stopping by.
Love you, cousin.
Love you, cousin.
Crucial.
Hey peeps, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. I hope that you were able to find a jewel that you can keep with you every day or put it in your back pocket for a later date. If there are any topics that you'd like for me to discuss on the podcast, please feel free to shoot me an email to neirathegoat@gmail.com. Remember to like this episode, share it with a friend, leave a comment, give it a rating, whatever floats your boat. Go forth, be great. Always remember what you're seeking is seeking you too, and everything that you need is already within you. So go within.